science major, knew that I wanted to pursue a career in the entertainment business, but I had no idea how to make that happen. From a very small town in North Carolina, again, graduated from Clark Atlanta, went to law school for a year, was miserable, and figured that I needed to do something quick, and I needed to find a way to break in. What I found through all my research on the internet, through my conversations with people, was the story of where they were and sort of how, their humble beginnings, and then their road to success. But the link is what I'm interested in hearing about. What was the breakthrough point for you, especially in a male-dominated industry or whatever the challenges were for you at the time? The entertainment industry is a very, very competitive business. I myself, for WEEN, receive thousands of resumes per month, thousands just to intern for free. So wanting to intern and even having the passion to intern isn't always enough to break in. So I know Phaedra mentioned before transitioning from corporate to entertainment. If you could touch on it first. And Terrence, you have an interesting story too of transitioning from corporate to the entertainment business.
I really always felt like after Shakir and after Ryan Cameron really sat me down and said, hey, this is what you need to do because your personality, your style, etc., etc. I prayed about it and God really directed my path. And so, I have to say God was the catalyst that made the big change because, I didn't have any experience in anything. Besides, a lot of education. I was very smart, but I really didn't have any practical knowledge. I hung out with a lot of entertainers, but didn't know the business. So it was relationships. It was, really being willing to put in the hard work because anyone that knows me, I will work any day, 14, 15 hours a day. And anything that I don't know, I will put in the extra work to research and learn whatever it is I need to know. So hard work, a strong faith in God and knowing that I could do it, and just relationships because there was a lot of times I called people at the face. I know a lot of people on this panel, even Shaka, that I've had to call and say, hey, can you help me with this? And they've always been willing to, give me the information. So it's just about really relationships and integrity and God.
I was sleeping on my brother's couch or whatever at the time, and I was living down in Florida. And I remember they had an audition for BET. It was BET audition in New York. And so I had all my little savings. I flew to New York for the audition, and then I got cut. That first audition, they was like, I forgot what Steven said. He was just like, you're not what we're looking for, and he sent me out the door. And I remember that night, me and my brother was so heated because my flight from Florida was like $400, and I was like, I can just spend $400 for this dude. So we went to this little bar up the street, and we started drinking or whatever. And I looked him in the face, and I was like, yo, man, if I ever get to see him again, I'm gonna just give him a piece of my mind, man. And Fred was like, yo, we should go run up on him. Stephen Hill's now the president at BT or whatever. So at the time he was the vice president. But they was going on a tour or whatever. They was in New York and then they was going to Atlanta, Houston or whatever. And then Fred was like, yo, we should just ride up on you, man. We should ride up. So I remember we jumped in his Nissan Maxima, his 1989 Nissan Maxima, and we drove. We started off, we was drunk. I was drunk and he was sober enough to drive just because there's a camera right there. We drove all the way from New York City down to Atlanta. I remember the auditions was over at, what was that, 112? What was that? They had the auditions at 112 and the line was all the way around the block. People was just coming out of Vision's nightclub or whatever. And the line was around the block. You probably remember when all that was taking place. Oh no, you was already from New York. But so the line was around the block, and I remember we stood in line for about another 7 hours just because I was going to go in there and curse them out. When they let me in there, I just happened to be reading over the script that they had gave me when I was in New York, so I kind of had it memorized. And then instead of cursing them out, I kind of got nervous and just read the script. But the only reason why he gave me an opportunity is because I still had my name tag on me from New York City. I still had my New York name tag, and I was like, because I just came from New York, because I'm mad at you because you cut me. And so he kind of thought that was funny. So he was like, come to New York City, we're going to let you intern for Big Ted. One thing left for next, I busted my butt. I worked on every show from an intern getting called for Ted, AJ and Free, all of them, until my opportunity came. And it's still, from that moment on, it was still like a year and a half where I was living with my brother. He was working a construction job. He had no money. I didn't get paid for a whole year and a half. Granted, with the college degree. So once again, that just goes into the whole, like you said, it's that link, it's that turning point in your life. I knew I wanted to meet a girl like Felicia one day, and I knew that me being broke wasn't going to get me the same place. So I figured, if I'm going to get in the room with Butterfield, I'm going to have to with Butterfield and make her fall in love with me. I'm going to have to do something epic with myself. So that was my turning point, and that's the only reason why y'all are even entertaining me today. So trust me when I say I'm happy to be here. Atlanta's like, I get deja vu, I start getting nervous. That's what happened.
So tell me about, after you get in as a woman in such a male-dominated industry, and you know, those spaces that you see of women who are in powerful positions now, it wasn't always that way. So if you could just give us quickly, you and Nina, just an idea of, as a woman, what qualities did it take? You touched on it briefly, and what distinguished you enough to be able to break that ceiling?
When I first started interning, I remember saying to myself, what do I want these people to know about me? What do I want them to think about me? Do they need to know that I have a 5-year-old son, that his father and I are not together, that, you know, I'm having relationship issues with the guy that I was dating, or that, you know, my bank account was on low that week, or whatever the situation was? They didn't need to know any of that. I decided ahead of time that I would figure out what I wanted them to know, and those were the things that they would see. And I wanted them to know, Nina, if you give her something, she'll make it happen. She's your go-to girl. And I remember every day I would walk into B103, that's what it was. If I had an issue that day, I would leave it at the door. They didn't need to know my problems. I was there to serve them. I was an intern, and I wanted to make sure that I represented myself in the best way. The goal was to have everybody say, that Nina Brown, she gets it done, she's a great girl, great spirit, great smile, love to work with her. And I remember being in the studio one night, and I was interning earlier during the day, but I would come back and I would help Greg Street, and I would just be answering his phones. And I remember one day, Block was in there for Block Entertainment, and he said, don't you intern for Frank and them? And Greg, before I could even say anything, Greg said, dog, that's the one right there. She interns for everybody. She's all over the place, does everything. If you need something done, give it to Nina. And I remember thinking in the back of my mind, while still being very humble, that's exactly what I wanted to happen. That's exactly what I wanted them to say. So as a woman in the industry, it's just so important to like hold true to your character, like your integrity. You can easy come in, easy go, but if you really want it to last, you have to do it the right way. And it's very, very, very important that you understand that from the jump. You know, so that I would say, you know, that would be the most important thing. And now to this day, I'll close by saying, the relationships that I had in the beginning are still relationships that I have now because I've been consistent with it. So it's very important too that, you know, Shanti and I were just talking, you could be in the club and you could be, you know, thinking no one's watching, or you could be drinking and having a great time of your life. But then around the, you know, on the other side of the club, you've got any one of the people who have already made it, and I'm looking across the club and I'm like, wow, like I would never want someone like that to represent me. And I always, from the jump, I honestly, I won't even lie. Like I might have a glass of wine, but I stopped drinking when I became the producer of the Frank and Wanda Morning Show. Why? Because I know I can't handle my liquor. And at all times I wanted to be in control of everything that I did. That at the end of the day I was representing Frank and Wanda and B103, and most importantly myself, and what I wanted people to see and know about me. So as a woman in the industry, just really understand who you are and what you want people to know about you.